To talk more about Senator Risa Ontiveros' potential presidential run, we have Professor Edmund Tayao. He's the President and CEO of the Political Economic Elemental Researchers and Strategists, or PEERS. Welcome to News and Views, Prof. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Prof.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Yeah, Prof, I guess you saw yung statements ni Senator Risa, although very vague, pero nonetheless, nagparamdam na rin si Senator Risa. Usually kasi in the past, she would deny or refute such claims. Now, were you surprised at all with the openness in the statements?
Well, we have already concluded the midterm elections. Alam mo, ang nakaka-surprise yung mga, well, lalong-lalo na, nung katatapos lang ng 2022 election, meron ng mga nagpalabas ng survey. Even if they did not say anything categorical or anything near categorical that they have any plans for 2028, the fact that they have contracted a survey and even put it out there in the open is already a tacit announcement, no, that they are running for 2028. Yung mga ganong moves actually in the vernacular medyo atat yun, ano? But at the same time, it's also ill-advised, no, politically, because you are already putting yourself out in the open. We should have learned from so many examples before, no? Former Speaker Villar, Mar Rojas, and so many others, no?
VP Binay.
Very early on, no?
Right.
So yun ang dapat nating tingnan. So this is a welcome development, so to speak. Anyway, ang sabi naman niya tinitingnan pa lang eh. Kasi whether we like it or not, there really has to be a few names that will be put out there in the open, no, for the people's consideration ahead of the 2028 presidential elections.
Before I turn it over to Angel, I'd like to add to that. Now, do you think the openness of the statement of Senator Risa has something to do with how Senator Bam and Senator Kiko performed? In the past kasi, parang they would just shoot down the idea. But siguro now, na-reinvigorate sila, seeing na meron bagong trust and confidence ang taong bayan sa so-called true opposition.
Alam mo, definitely hindi pwedeng ang tawag dito i-deny natin, no, that is really something. You know, before the end of the late Pinoy's administration, talagang ramdam mo na talagang nawala yung Aquino and Yellow Magic, no? And of course, during the time of former President Duterte, talagang nabugbog sila, no, ng propaganda, ng information. And in fact, midterm elections nung time ni President Digong, 12-0 pa, no? So talagang wala silang espasyo whatsoever. But you know, to my mind, this is not just something that that's to invigorate them or reinvigorate them, ano? This is a very strong statement that the messaging that was used, or the messages of the previous of the Duterte group before, that yellow is bad and that it's elitist and you know, the making it an evil color and group is now finding resurrection. So naiisip ng tao ngayon na hindi pala ito totoo, and we should consider them back in the political table.
And to be fair din naman, on the other side of the fence, may mga nakikita rin tayo ng mga muusbong, hindi naman muusbong, but alam naman natin ng mga tina-target nila na pwede rin kumandidato bilang presidente. Of course, nandyan si VP Sara with the tandem of Amy Marcos. And they're seeing 2028 as a year for women. Yun nga po yung sinasabi nila. Pero going to Senator Risa Ontiveros pa rin, do you think po ba yung kanyang pag-head ng mga hearings, ng Senate hearings sa Pogo, Kibuloy, naging factor din po ba yun sa pagiging visible niya ngayon sa political arena?
Lahat naman yan, Angel, naging factor, no? And of course, we should not discount the fact that matagal naman na si Senator Risa dyan. And It's been quite an underdog in the Senate for a long time. And sa atin, kaya nga malakas na nananatili ang pangalang Duterte kasi ang akala ng tao underdog yung estilo nila kasi is magpaka-underdog inaapi sila and so on, no. Ito si Senator Risa, hindi niya kailangan sabihin na nagpapaapi siya, talagang naaapi siya. But let me also add to that, in other words, yung exposure niya as a political figure really, no, has really been quite consistent, no. But let me also say that that being put out in the open, I mean, her being an option, no, as someone to run for higher office, it also means that it's not only limited to her. Take note, no, na yun nga, as you guys have mentioned, no, nakabalik si Senator Bam and si Senator Kiko, and rather with the bank, no. So, dati ding mga presidential timber yung mga yan, no. Maraming pang mga ibang pangalan na hindi pa nababanggit. In fact, one of them I would already add to the mix, no. Former senator and now Department of Education Secretary Sani Angara, no. Lahat na pag-uusapan yan before pa, no. Kaya lang, yun na nga, makikita mo yung mga political figures na nag-iisip, no. They're taking their time really to make sense of the situation before they make an announcement. And we should just read, no, between the lines and wait for them to actually make that much awaited announcement.
But I remember, Prof, na during in the middle of the campaign season, tapos nagkakabangayan between the Marcos and the Duterte camps, a lot of the electorate were looking towards, sa opposition at least, sa Pink Wave, they were looking to a leader na sabi na parang absent ang leader natin. They were looking to Robredo, VP Robredo, or Mayor Robredo for guidance. Parang wala siya. Now, do we see parang the torch being passed over from VP Robredo to, well, possibly right now, Senator Risa Hontiveros?
Yeah, meron nga kasi ngang vacuum, no? And it's good that you've mentioned that. There was a serious effort really to look for an alternative. The reason being that, kaya hindi ako naniniwala, no, na panalo ito on the part of the Dutertes. Kasi, kahit pa sabihin nila.
Alright.
Yes, Prof?
Can you hear us okay? Medyo nawala siya. We'll try. Yeah, okay.
Yan na.
Are you still there, Prof? Yeah, we're gonna...
I'm back, no?
Yeah, there you go.
Back, he's back.
There you go.
Go, Prof. You were saying?
As I was saying, hindi ako naniniwala na yun na nga totoo na nanalo sila, no? Kasi kung totoo nanalo sila, siguro mahigit 5 yung nanalo sa slate nila, no? Nanalo si Senator Villar, Senator Camille Villar, and Senator Amy Marcos, hindi dahil sa endorsement lang. Nakadagdag yun, fine, no? But if the endorsement came to another Juan de la Cruz, no, na hindi with the political backing na meron ng buffer, like a Villar or a Marcos, hindi mananalo yan. Kasi yung 5 na hindi nanalo sa Duterte, no, mga kilalang tao din, no? So, pero bakit sila natalo? In-endorse din sila. So what I'm saying really is that if there is any reason why they remain with that thinking that malakas sila and so on, kasi wala pang ang nakikita na alternative na ilalaban sa 2028. So this is really a very this is really the timing, no, to look for someone who will stand up for 2028.
And taking this opportunity na rin, Prof, tayo doon sa recent report namin, earlier report, si President Bongbong Marcos calling for the courtesy resignations of all of his cabinet members. What do you make of this?
Knee-jerk ba ito?
Alam mo, medyo matalinghaga yung move na yan. Ano? I mean, whether it's knee-jerk or what have you, being a president, and you're talking of the whole government for that matter, no? Hindi po pwedeng basta-basta gagawin mo. And knowing the president, no, I've been one of the consultants of then Senator Bongbong Marcos in the Committee of Local Government, no? Dalawa kami, former NCPAG Dean at that time. Nakita ko yung decision making, no? He takes his time and doesn't make any hasty decision. In fact, every now and then, the reason why we were asked to be there is to always provide a more in-depth analysis and study before any decision is made. And so I'm not inclined to think that this is just an abrupt decision. So I can only speculate that one, definitely there is a need for a reorganization. The president must have thought that. And even before the election, there has been an ongoing review of the performance of many cabinet secretaries. And I'm sure, of course, you've heard that some really are expected to be replaced soon. No? So hindi lang isa, dalawa yung napapabalitang ganyan. So siguro naisip ng Pangulo na nangyari na rin lang itong midterm election. Alam nyo naman na ang timing palagi ng reorganization nangyayari halfway to a presidential administration. Right. No? So this is what expected. No? But I'm inclined to think and agree that there is really something more than that announcement.
And with that, kasi may sinabi din siya dun sa kanyang podcast
na,
I want to be respected, diba? Pero I think fear is needed. So are we going to be seeing more fierce president in the administration? Prof?
Compared to the other presidents that we've seen, we have a president who doesn't talk that much.
Yes, that's right.
And really, when he talks, pinipili niya yung mga pagkakataon na
actually, parang every move
because he knows that when he speaks, that he knows that when he speaks, it carries so much weight. No? So siguro. Sabihin na lang natin na mas maninimbang ka ngayon, no? In the last 3 years of this president's administration.
So moving forward, Prof, you're talking about the last 3 years. So we don't expect the president to soften up in terms of his relationship with the Dutertes. Kasi some people were yung sa Marcos camp, were kind of worried na baka lumalambot na daw si PBBM because he was saying na he's open to reconciliation and he's going to rethinking drug war to a street level, which was the same policy as PRRD, and with the combination of the revamp of the cabinet. So akala nila baka he's trying to capture the vote from the South.
Alam mo, if you're the president, no, or any thinking political leader to that effect, no, you're not going to leave any option out of the table. So lahat yan, it should be readily available. But again, no, you think like a fox, sabi nga ni Niccolo Machiavelli, no? Yeah. So, even if you are leaving all those options open there, it depends how this will be read by your counterpart. No, wag nang opponent, counterpart na lang. Depende sa kanila kung paano nila babasahin itong mga itong pangungusap mo. No, so definitely, I think the president is sincere in saying that he's open to reconciliation. Kasi alam mo, it's to everyone's benefit. Actually, tanungin ko kayo. Meron bang talagang nag-gain dito sa away na ito? Kung akong tatanungin ninyo, pareho silang talo eh.
That's right.
No? Kasi pareho silang naglalabasan ng weaknesses nila. Ano? At pareho silang nababawasan ng political capital. And this is the very reason why the people is looking for an alternative. And this is so the reason why the result of the elections has been rather mixed.
Yeah, interesting. I'd like to add to what you said. Silang dalawa ang natatalo. Now, do you think he's open to reconciliation because nakita niya may Aquinong nag-number 2 sa eleksyon?
Alam mo, wala na sa kanya yan. Alam mo,
Wala
sa
na.
totoo, I've personally, ito sabihin ko na sa inyo, and this was way before he became president. He was not even thinking of running for presidency at that the last recollection of a talk with him. No, kung siya lang ang tatanungin, tapos nang matagal yung issue na yan between the Marcos and the Aquino, no. Pero yun na nga, there are so many things to consider, especially if your name is among those that has always been there in the country's history. So maraming considerations. But in other words, for him to consider the name Aquino as still an old opponent, I don't think ganun pa din. No? That this is really, to my mind, no, an effort to look forward and to leave a legacy, so to speak.
And what do you make of naman, Prof, doon sa possible shake-up, no, ng leadership in both houses, Congress and Senate? First, sa Congress, we're seeing Toby Tiangco saying in the beginning talagang against na siya sa impeachment, against Vice President Sara Duterte. So what do you make of that?
Alam mo, if you're a political leader, kung ganyan na mag-flip-flop ka, no, malaking bagay yan at dapat pinag-iisipang mabuti, no. I'm sorry to say, hindi ko pa mabasang mabuti yan, pero sa tingin ko, no, hindi tama na biglang mag-flip-flop ng ganon. So kahit pa anong justification ang gawin mo dyan, kasi again, if you are going to ask me, it's not everything is lost, no, as far as the administration is concerned. As far as this midterm election is concerned, no, it just to my mind, the message rather is simply that the people is looking for an alternative, and that's the reason why there's a resurgence of a resurgence of relevance as far as other groups that have been dismissed by the previous administration as no longer relevant. No? So hindi tamang sabihin na natalo kami. So at hindi ko to kasalanan. So excuse na lang na lumalabas yan. So if you're thinking of your political future, especially at the national level, that's a no-no. But of course, we know for a fact that Representative Toby Tiangco is more of a local leader or local name. For medyo he can afford to say those things and to afford some expendable political capital, no, pero at the expense of the administration.
All right, indeed, a lot can still happen until 2028.
Yes, 3 years.
Until
3
then,
years.
we'll be talking to you. Thank you so much, Professor Ed Montaya of Pierce.